Thank you for having me here today. I understand that among my audience here, some of you do not agree with interracial marriage. But did you know that according to the reports by the Pew Research Center, 8.4 of interracial marriage had increased has increased compared just to 3.2% in 1980. Within 20 years, or over 20 years, it has increased over half of the percent. I understand that interracial marriage are looked badly upon, and I understand that it will have conflicts among the families. But I want you guys to understand that I believe that interracial should be accepted. And here are my reasons why I believe it should be accepted. One, there's no law prohibiting, no legal prohibition against the law about marrying a different race. Two, it benefits oneself in the aspect of another culture. Three, and it's also important to have kids with different and combined ratio. I believe that according to the law, there's no legal prohibition that is against interracial marriage. And back in 1967, according to NPR, who NPR staff wrote on June 11, 2007, Richard Loving and his wife, Mildred Loving, wanted to get married. Mildred was black and Richard was white, but they couldn't get married in Virginia. So they moved to Washington, D.C. for for a bit, for a few weeks possibly, to get married because it was legal there. Interracial marriage was legal there. So, but then when they came back to Virginia, they were arrested because they couldn't get married, because they weren't meant to be married in Virginia. So in order to bargain with their life or their freedom, or in exchange, they had to leave Virginia. They had to leave everything behind. They had to leave the whole family behind in order to be together. Does that sound right? No, it doesn't. After a while, Richard went to the court saying, "This is not right. You cannot say that two interracial couple cannot be married." He went to a Virginia court, but then they dismissed it, or they said that you can't. And then Richard went to the Supreme Court saying what he just said, and they agreed with him. It's unconstitutional. Having laws preventing two races from marrying each other is unconstitutional. It's not written in the Constitution that two races cannot marry each other. Race has nothing to do with your freedom, has nothing to do with you wanting to speak. It's just the way you look. That should not be discriminated. Another reason why it should be accepted is because it benefits oneself to incorporate the aspect of the culture. Kristen, who is a Star Tribune writer, she interviewed Nancy Yang back in, I believe, around October 2011. She was talking to Nancy about how her relationship is and how her family took it, marry someone that's outside of Hmong or the Hmong race. Her husband is Swedish and she's Hmong, but they're married for 10 years now. Kristen asked them about if they're gonna have kids anytime soon, and she said, yeah, they're thinking about having kids like 2 or 3 years. And Nancy said, and I quote, "They'll be considered like our little Jew-Asian babies." I find that very cute because you're having two different cultures or two different races combined and making one baby, making one gene with two different aspects of characteristic and a different skin tone compared to everybody else. Being unique is the best. And like you, and with that baby, with that child, maybe they can have two more, three more. But those kids will understand and be more wiser that they'll be more wiser with understanding different cultures. They wouldn't be judging as much as as our society is. Lastly, it should be accepted because it's important to have kids with different and combined racial. Kevin Bining of the Stanford Graduate School of Business did a study on 182 students, now multiracial. He reported that significantly they have less physiological stress compared to someone that classified themselves as one race. He also found that interracial students and interracial students and students that classify themselves as one race, they learn the same and they have the same issues. For example, my boyfriend, he's black and white, and I'm mom. We both had issue in pre-calculus about how hard it was in learning about I. We didn't know that I was a number, but we both had issues. And even though like you're scared that your grandkids will have less effect, won't function as much as other kids, they will. Study shows that. So to recap and to conclude all of this, I want to say that I do understand that some of you don't think that interracial should be engaged or should be accepted, but it obviously should. It obviously should. There's no law saying that a race cannot marry each other. It helps oneself to learn an aspect, like a different point of view about different culture. And lastly, it's important to have kids know like different culture and not just their culture, and just be that their way is right. Their way is always right. It's great. It's best to open everything up. And that's why I think interracial should be accepted. Thank you.